Alright, so here we have a fun little project, something that I picked up from Kohls. Got a killer deal and free shipping. The problem with free shipping is I can get big items in, but then I have to pay to get them out. So what we have here is about 35 pounds. It's the Franklin Quickset basketball game. And basically it's one of these games with 4 basketballs and 2 hoops and a little digital scoring device, so you can have a little basketball competition with your friends. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it because I have a lot of fun stuff in the house here, so I'm probably not going to put it in this room because I don't want to hit that screen with the basketball. But I am going to set this up in the house and play around with it and maybe do a little YouTube video just for fun. So we'll see if we think this thing is fun for kids games and so forth. Alright, we're back again with the Franklin Quickset basketball game. I've unloaded it from the box and screwed around with it a little bit. So here's a bunch of the parts. More parts. More parts. Okay, here's the deal. This is my opinion so far. Here's your directions. Parts list, directions. Alright, and I bought a couple of these things. What I'm going to do is set this one up over here in a little area of my office where I store things. I had a bunch of 65-inch televisions which I've sold. And I've got a leak in the ceiling over here. So I'll put the basketball game because I don't really care what happens to it. Anyway, that'll be my area to install the basketball game. But here's my opinion. It's a lot of work to put together for the amount of fun that it will produce. I'm sure that this will not entertain me for very long. So anyway, I'll finish it up shortly, but the first opinion is that you really only need to buy this if you're looking for a little project. And I mean an install project, not a play the game project. So I was worried about the width of this item, but it's the length of it that became an issue, so I had to reorganize this area a little differently than I was expecting. So I was expecting to be shooting baskets towards the light, but instead the thing is so long. Alright, so it takes up a good bit of space. I'll measure it. I'm sure it's on the box. But the biggest problem is that it's actually quite a project. So you definitely are not going to pull this out of the box and then unfold it and be shooting hoops in 10 minutes. I would give it probably, if you're working diligently, 2 hours, because you have the electronics to do as well. So, and you got to pump up the basketballs. So I'll be done shortly, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be in the business of having to set these up and break them down. Alright, we'll be back. So here's a pointer. Don't put the frame all the way together before you start to put this tent fabric part, the part the ball drops on, because this part right here has to have this pole slid in through the side. So I'm going to have to take that part apart. So that one works like this one down here. Just got to slide the pole in, then install the pole. Don't install the pole first. But we can start to see how it's going to look. And apparently it folds up. So that's what the hinges are for. So the whole thing will fold up and then give me access to my closet here. Alright, so here we are. I got the thing almost done. I have not installed the electronics which keeps score because I feel certain that I will break it. So as far as keeping score, there's going to be another item that installs right below the basketball goal, which is this thing. So the ball will hit that and keep score every time. And of course there'll be a little electronic scorekeeper there, so you can see your score, and a way to start the game. Hell, I guess you can pause the game. That's pretty cool. So I may install one of these. I hate to install the whole thing because I know I'm going to break it. But for 35 bucks, here it is. So I paid 35 bucks for this thing, and definitely way more than that in time. So if your time is valuable, you probably don't want to buy this. Alright, but it is not totally unfun. Now there's a couple of modifications you might want to make if your kids are going to play with this a lot. One of which is you could add a little bit of more of a backdrop up at the top. You could take a little particle board and add another foot or two up there. But if you start doing that, you're going to lose the ball. Alright, and then when you get a swish, the ball starts to hit this bracket right there. So if you swish the ball, just like that. So you might, on that bracket up there, you might want to put some kind of some of that plumber's insulation that goes around pipes. You could probably figure out how to wrap it around there. Because if you get good at the swish, you'll bend that. See if we can get a few of them. So obviously, you gotta come in from above. See that? So that was one. So you'll hear it hit that. It seems like this thing holds up pretty good. And it's not quite easy. There you go. So if you get good at that swish, then it might bend that bar right there. I can also use this to catch the water from a roof leak that I'm having. So, alright, so that's it. I'll install the scorekeeper and then we'll play around a little bit more, but then I'll go ahead and upload the video. So here's my opinion. Alright, the opinion is that for 35 bucks to have this thing in my little home office is kind of cool. My friends will get a kick out of it. Okay, but if you're paying the retail price, which was $149, then boy, it's a lot of work for what you get. Uh-oh. Can't even make one from over here.